अपनी तीनों सेनाओं का जो पराक्रम देखा वो अद्भुत है। चारों दिशाओं में गूंजता है विजय घोष। ये नए भारत का आह्वान है।
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Inside South Asia, India's military might on display at Pokhran, as you just saw in the visuals from the tri-service ceremony in Rajasthan, showcasing India's firepower and self-reliance. Lots lined up on the show tonight. And well, from the Indian government's decision to implement the Constitutional Amendment Act to political developments in Pakistan to why India's rupee as a currency is on the rise, we have a packed show. Here's a sneak peek. First up on the show, non-Muslim refugees in India who entered the country before the end of 2014 are now eligible for full citizenship. That's the crux of the 2019 Citizenship Amendment Act, notified and implemented by India. But the implementation of the new law comes with its shares of controversies, namely the politics around the timing and the fact that Muslims have been specifically left out. Our next report has the details.
Hindu immigrants from Pakistan who have been living at Old Delhi's Majnu Ka Tila area as refugees or illegals, many of them for decades. There were similar scenes at refugee colonies in cities around India. Sindhis in Bhopal, Hindus from Pakistan in Jodhpur and more celebrate what they see as removal of legal barriers to rehabilitation, citizenship and a dignified life.
I am very happy that the law has been passed. It has come to our knowledge that the citizenship process has been simplified. People from our community have suffered a lot. They have to go to Delhi and other places several times for their citizenship documents.
कभी दिल्ली जाना पड़ता है, कभी कहाँ जाना पड़ता है.
Then the other face of it, flag marches and security fears. Years of massive opposition to the CAA and allegations of an anti-Muslim push means fears of tensions resurfacing. In areas with high sensitivity, the army keeps close watch. Take a closer look at what the CAA of 2019 stands for. 1. Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis, Christians in India from Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh are not to be deported as illegal immigrants. Notice the absence of Muslims from this list. This provided they entered the country before the end of 2014. The new act reduces the period of residency required from 12 to 7 years. Massive protests and riots over the Citizenship Amendment Bill had raged for months in 2019 and early 2020, with the Muslim population asking why members of their community had been left out for citizenship. There's also a big political dimension, with opposition parties raising questions on why now. Why is a highly divisive law being implemented days before elections, they ask. Fodder enough for a political war of words.
मगर तुष्टीकरण की वोट बैंक की राजनीति के कारण कांग्रेस पार्टी इसका विरोध करती थी। लाखों करोड़ों लोग पाकिस्तान से और बांग्लादेश से अपना धर्म बचाने के लिए, अपना सम्मान बचाने के लिए इस देश में आए, उनको नागरिकता नहीं मिलती थी। अपने ही देश में वो नागरिकता के बगैर अपमानित होते थे। नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हिंदू, बौद्ध, जैन, ये सारे सिख, ये सारे लोगों को नागरिकता देकर उनका सम्मान करने का काम नरेंद्र मोदी जी।
Now on the eve of elections, why suddenly this government declares it is decided to implement CAA, the rules are being framed, nothing but to divide the people, create tension among the people at the time of elections.
Opposition leaders in India have even gone so far as calling the CAA illegal. A full-fledged strike has broken out in Assam state, with the police issuing notices and warning legal action. With national elections around the corner, there's little doubt that the new citizenship law will resound as a big poll issue.
Well, amid the horrors of the Russia-Ukraine war, a group of citizens from Nepal trapped in the war zone have appealed to the Indian government to help them get out of Russia. 4 Nepali youth have now released a video that has gone viral. They say 30 men were recruited hastily and deployed with minimal training into the war zone. But now only 5 of them remain. The trapped youth say that they were drawn by promises of lucrative salaries and a chance for a better life by visa agents. However, they found themselves on the front lines, far from the opportunities that they were promised. The 4 have specifically called for India to intervene in the situation after failed attempts to seek help from the Nepalese embassy. They underlined the robust relationship between New Delhi and Kathmandu for the past few months. Nepal's foreign ministry has reached out to Moscow seeking updates on the Nepali men serving in the Russian army. It has asked Russia to send back men who were fraudulently recruited to serve in the war. There is no exact number of men who were recruited in the Russian army. However, according to petitions from affected families, the figure is estimated to be anywhere between 130 to 200. Last month, Russia had agreed to pay compensation to the families who lost their members in the war. Nepal's foreign ministry has said the lack of jobs in the country has forced the youth to accept such offers. Well, on to Pakistan now, which has a new president, except that Asif Ali Zardari is no newcomer to politics. He secured a remarkable 255 electoral votes in the parliamentary election, beating the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf-backed Sunni Ittihad Council candidate Mahmood Khan Achakzai. Once known in political circles as Pakistan's Mr. 10%, Zardari is donning a new avatar, one which has his daughter as the First Lady.
As President of Pakistan,
I will discharge my duties
I will discharge my duties
and perform my functions
and perform my function
honestly to the best of my ability.
honestly to the best of my ability.
Asif Ali Zardari voted back as president for the second time in Pakistan, stained by corruption charges, allegations of kickbacks and a lavish life. Zardari was propelled into politics after his wife Benazir Bhutto's assassination in 2007. A sympathy vote for the PPP in 2008 brought Zardari to the president's office. By 2010, he had heaped up criticism for being on a European holiday as the nation struggled to cope with the devastating flood. And by 2011, when the US trespassed Pakistani soil to kill Osama bin Laden. He, however, did bring constitutional changes to roll back sweeping powers of the president. By 2013, he was the first president to complete a full term. But charges of corruption and extortion stuck. In 2019, Zardari was jailed for money laundering. The opposition called him Mr. 10%. In total, Zardari has spent 11 years in jail, but he has bounced back each time. A political survivor, his second stint will remain largely ceremonial. Mr. Zardari and Benazir Bhutto had 3 children, including Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, the current chairman of the Pakistan People's Party. As a widower, Zardari has chosen his daughter Aseefa Bhutto to be the First Lady. By precedence, a First Lady is the President's wife. The position of the First Lady remained vacant during his first tenure as the country's president from 2008 to 2013. The daughter of the formidable Benazir Bhutto, her resemblance to her mother is stark. Aseefa made her political debut in 2020 at a rally by the PPP. Having studied in prestigious colleges such as Oxford, University College London and University of Edinburgh, Aseefa brings education, charisma and privilege to her new role. But can she carry forward Benazir Bhutto's legacy? Only time will tell. Well, the Indian rupee is on the rise. Not only is it among the best performing currencies in Asia, but the Indian rupee is also raising its international profile. Sri Lanka and Bangladesh are looking to trade using the Indian rupee as a currency over the US dollar. As more countries express their desire to trade in the Indian rupee, we tell you what it means for India and the global economy.
Internationalization of the Indian rupee is well underway. India amended its foreign trade policy after its central bank in 2022 okayed trade settlements using the rupee. The South Asian giant is already settling trade with Nepal and Bhutan using the Indian rupee as the currency. This setup makes a lot of economic sense too, as both countries are highly dependent on India. Sri Lanka, slowly emerging out of an economic crisis, has added the Indian rupee to its foreign currency basket. Soon Bangladesh too may start settling trade with India using the Indian rupee. India's Trade Minister Piyush Goyal is optimistic that the Indian rupee going global will be a game changer. Here's what the minister said in a recent interview. "I think it'll take some time for people to see the benefits. Gradually, the conscience is setting in that transactions in a third currency add significantly to the transaction costs." The Indian rupee has ventured beyond South Asia too. Russia and United Arab Emirates were among the first countries to join the rupee bandwagon. Goyal adds that more countries, including those in Southeast Asia, could start rupee-based trade. Trade in other currencies leads to foreign exchange and transaction losses. The delays in the movement of money also pushes transactors' costs. Trading in the Indian rupee will largely minimize these losses. Internationalization of the rupee will signify its growing strength. It will also help open more opportunities for Indian traders. The Indian rupee is mostly stable against most international currencies. The Indian rupee has been the best performing currency in Asia so far this year. The reasons: a reduction in the current account deficit and strong foreign exchange reserves. This is good news for the Indian rupee as it embarks on a journey towards global domination.
And well, let's tell you what else is making headlines across South Asia.
Pakistan's post-election government is taking shape. 19 cabinet ministers took oath on Monday, and their immediate challenge will be the profound economic, political and security challenges facing the country. Among those who took oath are senior members of Sharif's Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz Party, including Khwaja Muhammad Asif, Ehsan Iqbal, Azam Nazir Tarar, Ishaq Dar and Shaza Fatima Khwaja. Prominent banker Mohammad Aurangzeb, who is the president of Pakistan's largest bank HPL, is expected to become the new finance chief. His immediate challenge will be negotiating a bailout deal with the International Monetary Fund as the current agreement expires this month. The new government is also up against a surge in terror and separatist activity, with Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa worst hit by attacks.
Indian military personnel have begun the process of exiting the Maldivian islands as per the announcement made by President Mohammad Muizzu. Muizzu had asked for withdrawal of Indian troops from the islands by the 15th of March. No Indian military personnel, including those in civilian dress, are to be on the island after the 10th of May. Around 70 Indian military personnel are presently posted in the Maldivian archipelago, with 50 managing helicopters, 25 personnel managing the Dornier aircraft, and 2 looking after maintenance and engineering. The Maldives signed a military assistance agreement with China last week, coinciding with the departure of Indian forces. India has expressed concern on a Chinese surveillance ship being allowed to dock in Mali.
Nepal's Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has won the parliamentary vote of confidence a week after he formed his third coalition in just over a year to head a government that is dominated by communists. Dahal formed a coalition cabinet including the Nepali Congress Party and other smaller groups last year. Dahal won 157 votes against the 138 required in the 275-member parliament, while 110 lawmakers voted against him. The new cabinet also includes several other smaller groups. He is serving a third time as Prime Minister but did not complete the full 5-year term during his previous stints. Nepal has had 13 governments since it abolished its 239-year-old monarchy in 2008 and became a republic.
Crowds in Jaffna watched the military personnel perform a mock rescue drill to mark the 73 years of the air arm of the Sri Lankan Air Force. The 5-day-long event, which began on the 6th of March, was attended by thousands of ethnic Tamils, including school and university students. The Air Tattoo 2024 exhibition featured parachute displays, mock drills, and various aircraft and their engines on display. Jaffna had been a key centre of fighting between government troops and liberation tigers of Tamil Eelam during the country's nearly quarter-century-long civil war. The Sri Lankan Air Force says that under an initiative, Wings of Friendship, it will renovate 73 schools, donate 73,000 books to school children, and plant 73,000 saplings in the northern province.
And well, India joined an elite group of global powers as it test-fired the Agni-5 ballistic missile earlier this week. The missile, armed with multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles or MIRVs, enables delivery of multiple warheads to different targets fired from the same missile on the Agni-5 platform. We leave you with these visuals of the launch of the missile. Thanks for watching.